Okay, I'm sure my husband is gonna walk in. My husband! Did you hear that? Because I'm a married woman. If you don't know me, welcome to my channel. My name is Ariana and I am a type 1 diabetic, small business owner and artist. And if you do know me, welcome back. I am here to talk about something very exciting, which is my wedding recap video. Obviously there's been a few changes since I've spoken to you last. My hair used to be blonde. It is now red. And we're loving it. I'm also married. So I had my wedding last September in Massachusetts. We had a destination wedding. If you are getting married or have not seen the first part of my video and you're a type 1 diabetic, watch it here. It is my wedding kind of preparation video for what to think about as a type 1 diabetic planning my wedding. And today I'm going to talk about what I learned from my wedding, what we actually ended up doing for the wedding, all the ins and outs about everything, how my blood sugars were, what I did in every situation, yada yada. I also put on my Instagram story to see if anyone had questions regarding how my wedding went, so I'm going to be answering some of those as well. A little about me and my T1D background. I've been a type 1 diabetic for the past 19 years. I currently manage my blood sugars and did during my wedding with multiple daily injections. I am not on a pump, I am on pens. I currently use Humalog 200 unit quick pen and I love it. And then I am on Tresiba at night. I also have a Dexcom G6 in which I manage and track my blood sugars. Some of the things that I did leading up to the wedding was I kind of made sure that I was rotating my injection sites a lot. I was trying to cut down on scar tissue in specific areas. But if you want to hear more about that, please check out the wedding prep video that I made because it lists everything that I did leading up to the big day. Okay, so here's our plan. I wore my Dexcom G6 on my hips. I just didn't want it visible. Diabetes will be a part of my life forever, and no shade to anybody who wears it visible. I just personally didn't want to deal with it, didn't want it in my wedding videos. When I look back on my wedding photos, I'll know that I've had type 1 diabetes in it. I've had type 1 diabetes my entire life, basically since I was 10, so it's just personal preference. I just didn't care for it to be showing in any of my photos. I had a type 1 diabetic bridesmaid, which was very convenient. I had her follow me on the Follow app for Dexcom, and I also she ended up sharing with her now fiance to have him put it on his Apple Watch so that they could track my sugars even if she didn't have her phone with me through the evening, and he just would always have, he wasn't in the bridal party, so he had like his watch on him the whole night, so it was super convenient. She actually did end up letting me know when my sugars were going down later in the evening, but we'll talk about that later. So that was super handy. I think originally I had said that I was gonna have my maid of honor and my wedding planner also follow me in the app. I don't think I ended up doing that. I was cool with just Kendall doing it. Okay, wedding day. In the morning we ordered food for everybody in the bridal party. We ordered from like a local cafe, and rather than doing like bagels and kind of like serve yourself type things, we just ordered everybody their own style, like omelet, breakfast sandwich, whatever they really wanted. This was helpful because I don't eat bagels that often, and every single time I have a bagel, I do not take the right amount of insulin for it. So I didn't want to risk it. I got an omelet, I think with some breakfast potatoes, and that was good enough. I knew that was gonna hold me over the majority of the day, make sure my numbers were pretty stable, and make me feel full in case I was too anxious to eat later. That was perfect for me. For breakfast, I also took a touch less insulin. My goal was to sit anywhere above like 150 to 200 for the day. That way I wasn't super worried about it going higher, but then around like the 150 range, I knew that unless I took extra insulin, I wasn't realistically gonna drop. So in the morning when we were all getting ready, we had some champagne. We also took a few tequila shots, but I was just doing so much to kind of get ready, do my hair, my makeup, getting things together, my details box, yada yada. Like, so honestly, it didn't really affect me that much, but it was still fun to have. I think at one point I also did have a banana and some trail mix. I think that was considered my lunch, even though I did not technically have a lunch. And I don't think I was going low. I think I was just like, I should have some more food in me, and also let's bump my numbers up a little more, whatever. For the ceremony, my photographer and my wedding planner had a juice box with them, but I wasn't super concerned about it. Our ceremony was only like 15 minutes. It was super short, so realistically, if I went in with a good number, by the time it ended, there's no way that my sugar, you know, I wouldn't be able to stand up there. I also wasn't super concerned. Ended up staying around 160 to 180, which I was very happy about until the ceremony was over. By the time it was over, we went straight to bridal party portraits and bride and groom portraits. My planner actually brought over all of the appetizers that were being served at cocktail hour. It was great that we did get the plate of appetizers because, like I said, I only had a banana and some trail mix earlier, and I don't think Adam ate lunch at all. So we also got to sample both of our signature cocktails, the Maisie and the Dunkin', which we were very excited about as well. And it just, you know, might as well. Although I didn't wear my Dexcom on my arm, I still made, you know, got some diabetes themed wedding shots because I did get this shot of me taking insulin after eating some of our appetizers during bridal portrait time. After the ceremony, my planner put a clutch that had snacks, a juice box, my insulin, and my phone in it on the seat that I would be sitting at our head table, so that once we returned from our photos, actually I think I had my phone with me during photos just so my Dexcom could keep connecting, and my planner also obviously had a juice box, but by the time we got to our reception, I already had my phone and all necessities basically placed at my seat. Our reception space wasn't big enough for it to not reach me at really any portion of the evening, so I kept it at my seat. That way I knew where it was, but then I didn't have to like worry about holding things with me the entire evening or worrying about my bridesmaid having to think about like being 25 feet from me the entire time. I wanted her to have fun as well, so leaving it at the seat was perfect. It was there the moment we got to our seat. When dinner was served, you know, I already had my insulin with me and it was just seamless. When it was time for dinner, someone made Adam and I both dinner plates with everything on it that we could want. I surprisingly was not anxious at all. I was so hungry by the time dinner was served. I think I ate my entire plate. I was just everything was so delicious. When it was time to give insulin, I'm the bride, I'm gonna do it right there. None of the guests care. So I gave myself insulin. I took into consideration that we were gonna be dancing a lot that evening, so I gave a little less insulin for that. By the time we cut our cake, we just did a tiny cake just for Adam and I to cut basically. So we had, I think, a couple bites of our slices, and then we also had cannolis and Italian cookies from a local bakery, and I definitely wanted one of those, so I had like an assortment of desserts. I think I took a little too much insulin for my desserts because I did end up going low by the time it was time for our late night snack. My wonderful T1D bridesmaid texted me, "You're low," so I headed over and had my snack and carried on with the evening. For our late night snacks, originally our plan was pizza, but I did not want to deal with the inevitable pizza spike later in the evening, especially if it was for our midnight snack. I just did not want to have to deal with like a night of super high blood sugars. So the place that we ordered from had pizza, but we also got me my own tray of chicken tenders, which I did not realize would be a full tray, but I got a giant tray of chicken tenders and french fries, and I was so happy. They came right in time, right as I was dipping low. So we ate that up and continued to party and dance the night away. I did not hold back on my wedding in any way, shape, or form. I feel after 19 years, I have a, knock on wood, but pretty good hold of my diabetes. I pride myself on being able to enjoy myself on a night out without being irresponsible and not taking my health into consideration. So I definitely enjoyed myself. I had a great time. Blood sugars only went low once. It was a absolutely wonderful and memorable night. On to some questions that I received about my type 1 diabetic wedding. Taylor asked, did any aspect of having diabetes ruin your day? My answer is no. Having one low and sitting around 180 the majority of the day was best case scenario. That was wonderful. I am totally happy with that. It did not ruin my day. It just took a little more planning, and in that aspect, maybe that's like a little more stressful, but I wouldn't call it ruining my day. I, over the years, understood that if I would like to make sure a day is special, you know, I know how to take care of myself and know how to focus on really what the day is about and not let my chronic illness cloud over everything. That's not to say that it never does, because it does. It sucks. But yeah, I think in my mind I'm just like, it's not gonna ruin my wedding day because I won't let it. Alyssa asked, were you worried about getting blood stains on your dress after giving your insulin? Which is a great question. No, I wasn't. I took insulin in my arms the day of the wedding because I don't get very good absorption in my upper thighs. It takes like a lot longer for it to work. And not like I was gonna be hiking up my dress to my upper thighs anyways, but like that would have just been the only other option for insulin taking besides my arms. I took insulin in my arms all day, and then I just kind of like would look to see if I bled afterwards, but I actually wasn't really worried about it. I knew that the dress was gonna get plenty dirty the entire evening, so if it got a little blood on it, it would just make it a little more me. As long as it's after pictures, I didn't care what happened to it. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you found it helpful. My wedding day was absolutely wonderful, and I am so thankful. I kind of planned everything out, or tried to think about how everything is gonna go. Obviously, diabetes does not care what plan you make. It is going to just do whatever it wants. So all things considered, I had a wonderful and beautiful and memorable wedding, even though I'm a type 1 diabetic. If you are interested in following along for more aspects of my life with type 1 diabetes, I am on Instagram at Ariana Frere and on TikTok at Ariana Frere. I also design a lot of cute products for those living with type 1 diabetes in my shop, which you can find at shopcupofoj.com. Please consider subscribing to my channel. I have a couple fun videos on the horizon, and I can't wait sharing more of my life and my experiences with T1D with you very soon.